everyone, welcome to Open Up, platform for getting psychoeducated. And for all the new subscribers on the channel, I would like to thank all of you. Thank you so much for subscribing, and I hope that everyone who is watching the videos are finding it helpful, finding it useful and informative at the same time. Of course, if anybody of you have any doubts, any more clarifications, any topics that you want me to cover, I would urge you to comment in the comment section so that I can understand the same. So now today's topic is something that every one of us goes through. I mean, irrespective of their age, their education, their occupation, where they stay, their gender, this is something of a sort of a universal phenomenon which everyone goes through. In a recent research that was conducted in America, it was found that about 1,200 adults were followed for that study, and it was found that the stress that was caused by daily hassles, that stress, when it accumulated over a period of years or of a period of days, of a significant time, it was found that that stress had equal weightage to the stress of going through a traumatic incident or going through a very, very hard time in your life. So both of these stresses were almost equivalent. That study, the same study, also showed that people who were constantly going through these stress levels, they had 3 times the risk for developing cardiovascular diseases and of early death. So now I think this is a very, very serious thing that needs to be addressed, because right now in the 21st century, the minute you step out of your house, or actually even if when you are in your house, you are constantly going through stress of some or the other kind. So now a while back I said that this is a universal phenomenon which everybody goes through. So for a housewife, it could be making the tiffin ready till her son, daughter or husband is going out of the house, making sure that everything else. I have seen my own mom, during the morning it's like a very, very hectic time for her, because she has to take care of my tiffin. She has to take care okay, kachre wala ala hai, so you have to keep the trash out. You have to make sure that everything else, usme beech mein somebody says ki are I am not finding this, can you tell me where this is located? So for homemakers, this is a very, very huge thing that they go through every day. For working people, getting out of the house, going through, transporting to the place which they are working. If they are lucky, their place of work is close by. But if they are not, especially in Mumbai, the distances are huge. So you have to travel a lot. And thanks to our population, everywhere it's overcrowded. So daily hassles. All of these things come under daily hassles. For a student, it could be being attentive enough to understand what is being taught in the class, managing interpersonal relationships. All these things lead to a lot of stress. And if I have to just if I have to just take you guys through how stress has an impact on your body, whenever you are stressed, there is a hormone known as cortisol which gets secreted in your body. Now this hormone actually makes you ready for the fight or flight response. So this is one of the most primitive responses that human beings have in them, that whenever they are posed with a danger or anything that creates stress, you either take 2 stances. You take a fight stance, so I am going to deal with this head on, or you take a flight stance, you say I am going to go as far as possible from this situation. So when your body is getting ready for either of 2 things, lot of cortisol is secreted. There more blood flow starts happening to your extremities so that you are ready to fight or you are ready to run. So when that happens, your all other organs are also taxed a lot. Now when this stress response happens in a minimum quantity, in a less quantity, it is actually helpful because it makes you ready to take on challenges. But when it keeps happening again and again, when throughout a day you are going through this cycle at least 5 to 6 times, that is when your body goes through serious effects of it. So when there is excessive secretion of cortisol, or when the secretion is very, very frequent, eventually plaque gets deposited on your arteries, and that is one of the major reasons for heart attack. So when that happens, your arteries shrink, the blood flow, your BP, blood pressure increases, and which eventually leads to a chain of health conditions which are then very, very difficult to manage. So that is why stress management has taken on such a huge place in all corporations. So there are stress management workshops happening in almost all major companies as of now. But then what do you do about these daily hassles? You might say that, okay, yeah, my company did offer me a stress management workshop, how to manage stress at work, but what about the stress that I have till I reach work? What do I do about that? So today I am here to talk to you guys about those stress management techniques which you can use when you are going through daily hassles. Now, daily hassles can be defined as anything that stop you from reaching your goal, or which makes it very hard for you and which you think is really unnecessary, that could have been easily avoided, but still you are made to go through that, still you find yourself going through those situations. Second very distinctive thing about daily hassles is that it keeps happening again. It is a routine thing. It does not happen once and then it does not, it's evaporated. That does not happen. You keep going through that event many times during your entire life course. The third thing is, it is very small, but then it has a huge impact on your mood. So from a third person perspective, it might seem like a very nominal thing, but then for that person who is going through that, it is a very stressful situation which eventually ruins the mood for the entire day. Now, what can be counted as daily hassles? So for me, getting stuck in traffic, and now traffic is something that has been increasing over and above, like everywhere you go, you find traffic on the roads, you find traffic in buses, you find traffic in trains. There is not a single mode of transportation which you will not have, in which you will not have stress going into. So if you are traveling in Mumbai, all of you know कि peak hours में क्या problem होता है. Everybody is literally struggling to keep their bodies inside the train. That is the bare minimum thing that we have come down to. कि at least let me not fall off the train. Then sitting in comfort or standing in comfort is a very long thing in these days. So that is considered as one of the major hassles. Second, like I said, traffic. So anybody who drives, who commutes by driving every day, they know that getting stuck in traffic is a real stressor. And a recent study also showed that getting the stress that you experience when you are stuck in traffic, that has long-term effects on your body. It does not just stay in that situation, it percolates eventually into your entire physiology. The third one can be managing daily hassles, like simple ki, I forgot to take the keys, or I forgot this notebook, or I forgot to take something really important. I had a minor fight with some of my co-workers, not a major one, but then little bit of clashes happened. So these things can also be counted as daily hassles. Now what do you do about them? So let us go through all those techniques one by one, and I hope that these techniques will really help you gain control of the stress that you are going through. So the first one is planning. Now most of us go through these situations because you don't pre-plan. So this has happened to me as well. So if I have to reach office by 10 and if I leave home by 9:30, even waiting for the lift door to open is a stress for me, because I feel, like open already, how much time can a lift door take to open? Then if I'm driving and a person suddenly comes and or a bus comes and my speed has really been slowed down because of that, that is also a stressor for me, because in my head it's like, I have to reach there at 10, it's already 9:45. Now in a situation where I would have left home at 9:15, this stress could have been really avoided. So the first question that you have to ask yourself is, can I avoid this stress in any way? So the stress of traveling in local trains, you can't really do anything about it because overcrowding is there. What are you going to do about it? But in these cases where I can, I can leave early, I can plan my schedule in the way that I will be out of my house at a certain time, that will really help you to dodge this unnecessary stress of running against the time. The second one is changing the way you think. Now this is a very big thing to do. Now in REBT, so in the therapy that I use, the therapy says that if you can change the situation, go ahead and change it. But when you cannot change the situation, when the situation is going to be there no matter what you do, that is the time when you can only work on changing the way you think. So if you are going to keep going through that same thought process again and again, you are not going to reach a different conclusion. You are going to reach that same conclusion of being stressed, being frustrated, being angry and being grumpy. So changing the way you think. Now an example for that could be, if you are stuck in traffic and you feel कि अरे यार but आगे क्यों नहीं जा रहा है यार, like why is this person not moving ahead, आगे के सामने people are moving and the person is still over here. Now realizing that nobody on the road is there to, nobody wants to be on the road like, okay, I'm going to chill on this highway today. Now nobody says that. So if you can change your way that you're thinking about it, okay, probably it must be a new learner, probably he's just fumbling with the brakes or the gears, and or it could be an elderly person who is a bit slow in these things. So when you do this, your anger automatically goes down. Thirdly, meditation. So I know that you might say, the meditation, like when I'm stuck in traffic, how can I do meditation? Well, believe it or not, you can, even when you are standing in a crowded train. So this, I have a experience of traveling for quite a few years now. So whenever I am stuck in a peak hour, when ladies are they're fighting, they are cribbing, आपने मेरे पैर पे पैर कैसे डाला, ऐसे कैसे वैसे कैसे, they are like going their heads off, they're biting each other's heads off. That is when I try to focus on my breathing. So I very slowly I tune out everything else that is going on around me. I either listen to some calming music on my headphones, or I concentrate on my breathing. I concentrate on the air that is there around me, and then this thing actually helps me to lower my stress levels in that situation. Then comes practicing opposite action. Now this is a very interesting technique, and I have started using this quite recently. So whenever you are going through an emotion, right? So if you are anxious, you are stressed, you are angry, imagine yourself to be in a situation where you are feeling the opposite. So if you are feeling anxious, imagine that you are completely relaxed. So if I am standing in a crowded train, I am just going like that. So maybe at that point in time I can think of, oh, I am at my house, I am in my room, there is a nice breeze that is flowing, I am sleeping in my bed, I am having a nice book that I am reading. When I do this, my emotions are directed more towards that situation. Ki how must I be feeling in that situation? I will be so relaxed, I will be happy, I will be chilled out. So when I do that, my focus on my anxiety or my anxiousness at that point in time, it really subsides. And you can do this with any emotion. If you are feeling sad, you can think of a time where you were happy. Now again, this is a technique of dialectical behavior therapy, and this has worked really well with me. Ki whenever I am on the Activa and I am stuck in a traffic and there is a lot of honking going around, I imagine that I have reached my home, I am removing my shoes, and my mom is making a nice cup of tea for me, and I immediately feel much more relaxed. Another technique that I came up with was while driving. So I am a singer. So what I do is, while I drive, I start humming songs inside my helmet, so nobody else can hear them. But then it is a very nice relaxation thing for me. So anybody, if somebody just बहुत होता है हमारे इधर की, somebody just cuts, like बहुत rashly somebody approaches you, and without giving any intimation, the person overtakes you. So in that situation, you get really angry with that person कि ये क्या है, मतलब how can anybody drive so carelessly. So when that started happening, I realized when I started using this technique, my anger in that situation also subsided. And the thing is, when you are in that situation, and let's say that you use these techniques and your anger really subsides, for few days you might feel कि ऐसा क्या फ़र्क पड़ा, मतलब what great difference did doing this make. कि ठीक है, मेरी anxiety कम हो गई, but then what did I gain out of it? At that moment you might not even realize that you are gaining something, but then on your body, on the long lasting effects that stress has on your body, it will definitely play a huge role. So there you go, guys. I hope that these techniques you will use these techniques and they will be helpful for you. And if you come up with any new techniques which you want to share with me, the comment section is always there for you. I will see you guys next time with a new video, and I hope that you will stay tuned for the same. Till then, take care. Bye.